I get lots of comments when I make jewellery asking if I ever use wire guardians or telling me that I should be using one. Here's the thing that might shock some of you. I don't use them anymore. Today I'm talking all about wire guardians, what they are used for and why I stopped using them, as well as giving you an even better alternative. Hello, welcome to The Stylish Maker. My name's Carol. Wire guardians are a staple in most jewellery makers' toolkit. They are used to protect your wire and also to stop the wire coming out of your jump ring if it's not quite closed or if there's a little gap. A wire guardian is a horseshoe-shaped tube that you thread your wire through, and this is supposed to protect your wire. It also hides the wire and it's supposed to make it look nicer, but I disagree with this. I think they're quite ugly. The reason it can stop your wire falling out of your jump ring if the jump ring isn't quite closed is because it's thicker than your wire. Let me show you how to use one, and then I'll talk about why I've stopped and the alternatives. So this is a wire guardian, and as you can see, it's shaped like a horseshoe, as I said, and it has a little tube at the bottom here on either side. And the idea is that your wire goes up through the tube, around the top, and back down through this tube. So if we have a look at this one here, you can see there it is, and it's got its little tube on this side and its little tube on this side. My wire is coming up through the beads. There's the crimp tube, which is closed with my magical crimper, which is why it looks like another little bead. And then the wire comes up around the top and back down through here, and I like to pop mine back down through some beads. So as you can see, it does look neat, but I really don't like them. There are two reasons that I no longer use a wire guardian. The first is a comfort thing. So if we take a look at my wire guardian here, what you can see is that these ends here can be quite sharp. They can poke you, and the other thing that they can do is get caught in your hair. Not that that's ever a problem for me, but my daughter got her hair stuck in the guardian and it took ages to get it out, so that's not very pleasant. You can, of course, squeeze the ends together like this, and that helps with the sharp bits because it's smaller than your beads, so it doesn't sit as close to your neck, but it's not a great solution. So the first reason I don't use wire guardians anymore is because they are uncomfortable. The second reason that I don't use wire guardians is because, in my opinion, they are not very aesthetically pleasing. I don't think they are very pretty, and there's an alternative that looks so much nicer. So let's take a look at that, and I'm sure you'll agree that not only does it look nicer, it works much better and is actually easier to use. The answer is, of course, French wire. French wire is a tiny coil of wire that you can thread onto your beading wire, like tiger tail or soft flex, and it hides the wire, it protects the wire, it looks nicer, and it doesn't get caught on things or poke you. So it solves all of those issues that I have with the wire guardians in one go. I also think that it's easier to use. So would you rather have something that looks like this? Or would you rather have something that looks like this? I know which one I'd choose. If you're tired of the pokey bits of jewellery making and would like more advice on how to improve your jewellery, I'd love to have you stick around. Give that like button a gentle squeeze, just like closing a crimp, but much more satisfying. And if you want all of the updates, sign up for my newsletter. So now I'll demonstrate how to use the French wire, and I think it's actually going to be an aha moment for you. So I've strung up some beads for you. I put a clasp on one end with my beautiful French wire, and you can see it there. Isn't it lovely? I'm going to show you how I do the second end and how I use the French wire. Now, if you love this bead strand as much as I do, it's called Oceanic Lilac. It's from Jessie James. It did come with some gold accents. It had some gold bead caps here, and it had some gold rhinestone rondelles, and I just switched them out for silver because I'm a silver girl, not a gold girl. But I will leave you a link to this in the description box below, as well as my code, Stylish10, so you can get 10% off anything you buy from Jessie James using my link. This is my bracelet, and I have put on one end of my toggle clasp, and I have actually attached it using a 4mm jump ring. Now, the reason I like to use a jump ring to attach my clasp and not put my wire directly through the clasp is because if your clasp fails, which it won't with a toggle clasp that I'm using anyway, but if I was using a lobster clasp, it could fail, and then I would have to completely restring my bracelet. I've had that happen to me several times. So I always like to attach my clasp with a jump ring. I also think that it Just makes everything sit nicer and it looks better. Before we go any further, if you're interested in making the jewelry I'm wearing today, I am wearing my wire-wrapped heart earrings that I made for Valentine's Day quite a few years ago. And I am wearing a necklace that I made when I showed you how to do basic stringing, so nice easy one. And I'm also wearing this pearl bracelet. This is made from memory wire. I made this one over on the Style Makers Network quite a while ago in a live stream. So I'll leave you links for the necklace and the earrings in the description box below, and I'll also leave you a link to the Style Makers Network so that you can join and watch that live stream where I made this bracelet. So I've strung up my beads and I'm just using a piece of 0.38mm tiger tail. Pretty standard. I've got my bead stopper on here and I've done one end. Now I want to show you how to put on your French wire. But before I do, let's talk about what a French wire is. So this is what your French wire looks like when it comes in the packet. This is a beadsmith one, and this is a medium. And the one I'm going to be demonstrating with you today is a fine one, which is a 0.7mm thick. This one is a 0.9mm thick. And it also comes, I think, in a thick and a super thick as well, extra thick, I think. So I'm going to show you really close so that you can see. Now I'm just going to pull it out so you can see exactly what it is. So as you can see, it's a spring, but it's not like memory wire where it goes back into shape when you pull it out. You can see there I pulled it out and it's looking pretty horrible now. So I'm going to cut that piece off and I'll show you what it looks like. So there we go. And as you can see, well, you probably can't see actually because it's so fine and it's so hard to see, but it is a coil or a spring. So what you do when you use your French wire is you cut a piece like this about 1 centimetre long. Now make sure when you cut it that you cut both pieces at the same time because you don't want one to be one length and one to be the other. So what you do is you pop it down on your board there and you take your cutters and you cut it to the same length. Now I like to store my French wire in one of these little containers, and I'll leave you this one linked in the description box below because I find these containers are really great for things like crimp tubes. Here's one I've got with my crimp tubes in and things like that. And I also like to keep a piece that tells me exactly what's in it inside the container so that I know that this is a fine or 0.7mm piece of French wire. And I pop it away and pop it in my drawer. I know exactly what it is. It's very delicate, so it's all protected inside my little container there. So let's go ahead and pop on our clasp on this end using our French wire. So the first thing I'm going to do is put on my crimp tube. This is a 2mm by 2mm magical crimp tube, and I'm going to pop it on. Now I am going to be using my magical crimper today, but if you don't have a magical crimper or you prefer not to use one, you can use any crimping method at all. If you do have a magical crimper and you are struggling with it, I'll leave you a link in the description box to an episode all about the tips and tricks of how to use one, because that's a quick question that I get asked often is I can't make my magical crimper work. So I did an episode all about it. Now before I put on my crimp tube and my French wire, what I'm going to do is attach my jump ring to my clasp. This clasp, by the way, came from Jessie James as well, and I will link it for you if I can find it on their website. So I'm going to take my jump ring and I'm going to hold it on either side with my pliers like this, and I'm going to twist my hand down. And I'm going to feed on my clasp and I am going to close it up. So I'm using a 4mm jump ring here. You could use a 6 if you wanted to. And I like to check from all angles that my jump ring is well closed. There's my clasp with its jump ring attached. Okay, next we're going to take our crimp tube and we're going to pop it on. I like to go fishing for my crimp tube on my mat like that. And then we're going to take our French wire. I'll just take off my bead stopper, that might help. Now when you cut it, sometimes you can squash it. So if that happens, just trim off the very finest little bit from the end. So I'm taking my wire and I'm going to thread it through my French wire. Now I like to hold it between my thumb and my forefinger so that it doesn't pull out of shape. So that is what that looks like now. And you can see there's my crimp tube and my French wire. Now your French wire will want to disappear inside your crimp tube at this point, but we're going to fix that. Then I'm going to put on the jump ring. So now I've got all three things on. I've got my crimp tube, I've got my French wire, and I've got my jump ring off my clasp. And now we're going to take the end and we're going to put it back down through the crimp tube. So just holding my crimp tube and threading my tiger tail back down through the crimp tube. And then we're going to pull everything up. And what happens, this is where the magic happens, that little bit of French wire will pull around and form a nice loop. Now, as you can see, I've got a big gap, so I'm going to pull my crimp tube down. And I'm going to very carefully pull everything up, and eventually it will form a nice little loop around my jump ring, and it will look amazing. You can see how nice that looks. Much nicer than the wire guardian. There's the two together, so I don't know about you, but I think that looks much, much nicer. All right, now I'm going to check that everything is nicely pulled up here, and I can see I've got a little bit too much space. So I'm going to pull everything again. I don't want it to be stiff, but I don't want any gaps either. Then I'm going to take my magical crimper and I am going to squeeze. I'm going to turn and squeeze again. And I need to keep doing this until my crimp tube looks like a little round bead. So there it is with its crimp tube on. So there it is, and doesn't it look lovely? Much, much nicer than the wire guardian. I do have some more tips and tricks for you, but if you're sitting there thinking, Carol, I need more of these aha moments in my life, then you really should consider joining the Style Makers Network. While I love sharing these tips here on this channel, the network is where I go deeper into all of the tips and tricks. It's a dedicated space for makers who are tired of the pokey bits of jewelry design and want to focus on pieces that are as comfortable to wear as they are beautiful to look at. Think of it as your digital jewelry box filled with extra guides, deep dives into materials, and a community of like-minded creators. It's the best way to support the channel and ensure your jewelry making journey is as seamless as a perfectly closed crimp cover. So my best tip for you here with using your French wire is to make sure that it doesn't go down inside your crimp before you squeeze it, because if it does, your crimp won't close properly, and if you're using the magical crimper, it will look horrible. It'll be all bent out of shape just because it's too thick for the crimper to actually work. So even if you have to have a little bit of extra wire showing, it's better than having your French wire going down inside your crimp tube. So that's my best tip. So this is a little bracelet that I strung up using silk thread. It's just pearls with a little faceted rondelle there. And I used the French wire to protect the silk thread. And I didn't use my magical crimper here. I used a crimp cover instead. Goodness me, you know how I feel about those, right? So that's another place where a piece of French wire can really protect your wire, because if you use a wire guardian, those little pokey sharp bits can actually cut your silk thread. So French wire is a much better option in these circumstances. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.